Hello, everyone. My name's Kyle, and today we're going to be talking about the difference between being materialistic and being a materialist. So, ever since the dawn of television, or really reality shows, the modern marketing strategy has been to go push for that new it show. So when we started with reality shows, we would have, scripted lives of people that seemed real. We would have soap operas. We would have cartoons just trying to mimic this life that we live. And one of the most interesting types of reality shows, in my opinion, are the shows involving people who collect mass amounts of things, the hoarders of the world. Because we watch these shows and we say, wow, that's so peculiar. Who could want that much stuff? Who needs that? What can they even do with it? Because we look at them and we're saying, wow, there's some hole inside of this person and they're trying to fill this void by buying multiple things. Completely ignoring the fact that everyone operates on a very similar setup to this because everyone has some type of vice, the thing that makes them high. Some people, it's literally drugs. They're chasing a high. Some people are chasing anonymous sex or even non-anonymous. Some people are chasing power in their job. Some people are chasing platonic love just to get this rush, this idea of purpose in life. There's some people that just produce things like starving artists. That's the same functionality. Instead of hoarding objects, they hoard creative ideas or outlets for creative energy. So with these shows, we say, wow, this person's ridiculous. They have so much stuff. But the average American home has 300,000 items inside of it. And social scientists say that we're only able to remember the names and corresponding faces of 5,000 people, which is why Facebook builds its algorithm of how many friends you can have off of that number. So how is it that we're expected to remember 5,000 people, yet somehow we can know we're 200 times the amount of that amount of stuff, like not just things, stuff, in our house, and know exact name, location, and what the tool is? There's absolutely no way you can do that. So we really need to force ourselves to say, well, why do I have so much? And for me, one of the reasons I own so much more than I really want to own is because I have this impulse that when I'm shopping, I'm saying, well, one of these is $2, I only need it. And then you see the sign that says 3 for $5, and you're saying, ooh, well, I could buy another 2 because I do like the sounds of that 50% discount on the one or 25% discount on the other 2, or I don't know, like 18.5% discount on the 3 of them that you could get that way. And it's just forcing us to continue buying into things that we don't need. So to be a conscious consumer, as you're going places, ask yourself, am I really buying what I want, or am I just being impulse driven by the idea of having a better unit price for this item? Because it might take a long amount of time to really understand this. And when I was first told this, I pushed it off as a joke. But if you're spending more money, you're not saving money. And that's not to say money is the be-all, end-all system of the world, because money is just a unit of account that we're able to use for exchange that everyone wants because it gets past the idea of double coincidence of want, where if you're bartering, both people would have to want what the other person has, or else you wind up on this wild goose chase. So although money does answer that, the problem is we move ourselves into these setups where, because money is an abstraction of the world, we start looking at things from this perspective of, oh, well, if we want to change the world and move to maybe a socialistic program, the first question is always, well, where's the money going to come from for healthcare or to provide schooling to people? And the thing is, banks ultimately just make up the money and add it to the money supply. They have a rhyme and reason because of inflation, but the matter of fact is, even what they bring back, they've still added more to the money supply in the end, ever since the inception of the Federal Reserve. So we need to not just be looking at things and saying, oh, well, where's the money going to come from? Because this lands us in situations like where today, in 2019, the United States imports about 300 pounds of steel per person. So that's about twice the average person's body weight gets brought in steel per year for electronics. Not just for buildings, but for electronics specifically. Things that typically are getting pushed further and further towards the hegemony, where they get used for 1 or 2 years because everything's a throwaway in society now, and we don't even recycle all of the phones. So it's time for society to wake up and really say, do I want to keep flexing my money and my wristwatch, or do I want to be listening to that tick on the watch? The tick of the planet saying, I am your mother and I can provide for you, but you cannot take. You need to look at the world and try to survive. So what I'll leave you in closing is that this world, this planet, is not just this grouping of some dead, some alive things, but it's literally the blood of our ancestors. It's the most sacred thing that can exist. So please, look at this world as this great gift, because we did not inherit it from our parents and grandparents, but we are borrowing this world from our children. Thank you.